Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Truth to You podcast. And we just moved to this location and I had to stop. There's some people around, so I'm having to keep my voice down just a little bit. But we're here in the port city of Kavala, modern day Kavala. And what you're seeing in the background is where the Apostle Paul first stepped foot in Europe. And we hear about that Macedonian call. You know, I've referenced it several times. But this is really the place that call goes out. This is Macedonia here, and Paul hears that or sees that vision, and the next day the Bible says straightway they set out to cross the Aegean Sea, and they landed right here. And so they would come right into port here. They would go north to Philippi, and then they would go back to Thessalonica, then they would go down to Athens, and then they would venture out to Corinth, and then he would go spend some time in the Greek islands. But this is really the starting place for everything that we've seen. This is really kind of where our journey is ending, coming up through Greece, but it really is the starting point for the Apostle Paul. And I try to just put myself in the mindset of what it must have been like to come ashore to a group of people here and seeing the city on the mountain there across the bay. And what must that have been like? What were the feelings that he had? You know, the Apostle Paul couldn't see the future. He didn't know what was going to lie ahead, other than the fact that he was here to help. The Macedonian call, come over and help us. And so he's here to bring the gospel. And I'm sure he was just excited, ambitious, all those things. But what do we find? We find a very rocky path. We find people getting saved. We find the gospel coming to this area of the world, and you know, people's lives being changed, people's communities being changed. But he didn't know all that coming in. He didn't know the struggles he would face, the times he would be beaten, the times he'd be run out of town, the times he'd be put in jail. And I wonder if there were times, and we know there was, certainly when he gets a little further into Greece, we know that he's a little discouraged, and the Lord has to tell him, hey, keep doing what you're doing. And it just, to me, isn't that how life is? Isn't that how we so often, you know, isn't that sort of connects with our reality? We're ambitious about the future. Hey, we've got these plans, we've got these things we want to do. And then what happens? We hit a trial. We hit a period of our lives where we're struggling. And it's easy to get discouraged. And, you know, I wonder if Paul knew all the hardship that he was going to face here. You know, would he have done it? I'd like to think so. I've got some church bells in the background. That's kind of cool. Getting the full effect of Kavala. There's a church across from me. It looks like a Orthodox church. Give it another second here and it'll be done. Boy, what a spectacular view. Can you see that? Sun's going down behind me. Yeah, it's got to be over soon. Okay. Yep. And one more. Nope, that's it. Okay. All right. Anyway, back to a serious note. You know, the Lord has something in store for you. He's got something in store for me. And the idea is we want to cling to the Lord like the Apostle Paul did. And, you know, face the challenges knowing that we're not alone, knowing that he's got a path that's tailor-made for us, and that as long as we trust him, we're going to do just fine. A sobering, surreal moment here as I stand in the harbor where the Apostle Paul first stepped foot on that missionary journey that brought the gospel to Europe so long ago. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.